And now we take you field level for the exclusive first-time look at the new Cowboys field. Something so exciting even the team owner showed up for. Hey, Jerry! So kind of bittersweet win for the Aggies tonight. They both win on the scoreboard, but lose a couple of crucial players in the process. Woo! Talk about the need for speed. You can do certain things out here on the track you just can't do out on the street.
It was easy to find a seat just minutes before a game down here in the lower section. But now you'd be hard-pressed to find a seat just even way up here.
This just coming in from the AP in regards to the NFL lockout. A federal judge has sided with the NFL players and has granted a preliminary injunction to lift the lockout that was imposed by the league owners back on March 11th.
Closer look down below, and let's see where the action's really at. You guys ready?
Ready!
Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
But down here, it's a little more physical.
Texas Ranger reliever Arthur Rhodes. He's a local guy. Born here in Waco, he attended high school just down the street at La Vega. Don't remember that? Well, probably for good reason. That was 25 years ago, but he's still pitching in the big leagues today, and at age 41, he had the chance to make Rangers history against the Royals.
Ready? Go!
I want everyone to swim.
There you go, very good.
I want the whole world to swim. That's been a slogan of mine.
Teaching autistic kids to swim.
We're gonna do breaststroke now, okay?
For Alex Sanchez, it was an idea inspired by painful memories and carried out with a passion.
Uncle Denny, he's severely mentally retarded and he's autistic. And one day, this is a story that my mom tells me. One day he was in the water and he started drowning.
He almost drowned when he was 13, and I actually saved him. And I always told my kids about how that nobody would ever teach Denny swim lessons because it's a lot of work.
The 18-year-old high school grad started this new venture only after achieving success in the water himself. A swimmer at Midway, he qualified for regionals all 4 years. But fittingly, to achieve his success, Alec would have to overcome adversity of his own.
When I was born, my lung actually collapsed. I had to overcome asthma, and I always had it. When I got into swimming, it helped me strengthen my lungs a little bit more.
Inspired by the impact of swimming in his own life, Alex shifted his focus to helping others and started his own autistic swimming class.
The whole deck was full of chairs. Everybody was so excited to get in the water and to have somebody teach them.
14-year-old Jamie Carney has been swimming with Alex since the program's beginning.
When he first started, he would barely put his face in the water and blow bubbles, and now as you've seen that, he can swim from one end of the pool to the other.
You hardly know it now, but pools like this used to strike fear in the hearts of autistic parents here in Waco. Alex Sanchez is doing all he can to make sure painful memories like that of his uncle never have to be felt again.
1, 2, 3, best!
To be the best, it helps if you can learn from the best.
He's one that you want to emulate, and you want your kids to emulate.
It's just like having an NFL coach on hand. You don't have to worry about nothing. He knows what he's talking about. Like learning from the best.
Boom. Come on through.
Didn't know a former football and baseball star was now coaching football at Waco High? Don't worry, some of his own players didn't either.
He really hadn't told us much. I mean, like, the past is the past, and why worry about it?
I played college football, and I was drafted by the Rangers, drafted by the Cowboys. For me, I don't ever really talk about that when I come out there with these guys because it's in the past, and my focus is on them.
Running backs coach Donald Harris is an accomplished man. After 2 years at Texas Tech, Harris was drafted by the Texas Rangers in 1989, and just 3 years later in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me was my work ethic, how hard I played. I loved the game, just being humble.
It's easy to get lost in Harris's accomplishments.
It's cool, you want an autograph and everything, you want a card, just be around somebody that popular.
But Harris would argue you're missing what matters most.
My greatest accomplishment was not being drafted and playing with Nolan Ryan. My greatest accomplishment was graduating from college when I was at the age of 37. That was the greatest thing that ever could have happened to me.
Harris left the professional sports world 3 years after he began. Now he's teaching kids that nothing in sports lasts forever.
Things that I didn't take advantage of, I try to share that with these guys. Go out there, hit the weights, be to class on time. Just take advantage of every opportunity you have. It's not going to last forever.
He always working us hard. He always going to be on us.
telling us what's right, what we need to do.
Let's go, man. Hurry up. Let's go.
School come before this, so yeah, basically that's it.
In Waco, I'm Jeff McAdam from News Channel 25 Sports.
We got a kind of a special story down here. Let's see if we can find somebody to talk to. Hey, Grandpa. Hey, come here. Come here.
Moving at a fast pace with high endurance and tons of agility, this old timer is turning back the clock.
I'm 89. I feel like I'm 16. No, I feel pretty good inside.
The Fort Worth resident is a 5-time world champion and a 7-time national champion. And in case you were wondering, he really is my grandpa. And while he may not be the youngest or fastest player on the court these days, he sure knows how to draw a crowd.
It's just encouraging, it's uplifting, it's just wonderful. Everybody loves to watch them, even though it's not, you know, kill, shoot, racquetball.
And it was just 2 years ago that McAdam had decided to walk away from the game and enjoy a quieter retirement. But like any true competitor, he couldn't stay away from the game forever.
Oh, I love the game. The game is fun, and it keeps me in good health, and it helps me maintain my mobility and all my, it's a lot of fun.
And now back in the court, taking another swing at a national title.
Look, Dad, get the first point.
His strategy was simple.
Hit the ball. That's all I want to do is hit the ball.
This just coming in from the AP in regards to the NFL lockout. A federal judge has sided with the NFL players and has granted a preliminary injunction to lift the lockout that was imposed by the league owners back on March 11th. Byron, hate to break it to you, you can't get 400 in bowling. Suspicious. You're suspect. All right. Led by Hall of Fame and former Baylor linebacker Mike Singletary, the San Francisco 49ers had lofty goals heading into the season, mainly making the playoffs for the first time since 2002. But all that came to an end yesterday with the 25-17 loss to the St. Louis Rams. Good evening, Texas, and welcome to Sports in 3D. No, HD. What's the difference? Looks good to me. Well, on to the NFL draft. It's officially over. We all know Baylor and A&M had some pretty big days in the first day. 3 first-rounders between the two, but today Baylor added 2 more names to the draftee list. Hurley not only can pitch, also plays a little D, and apparently likes to throw his hands up in the air sometimes, saying "Ayo." Get that out, yo. All right, well, the Dallas Mavericks, we do have that for you. Disappointing, unfortunate, unbelievable, and not in a good way. All these words accurately describing the Mavs. Obviously, you can tell how they did. They had a 23-point lead with 1:15 left in the third quarter. Brandon Roy, though, starting to catch fire in the fourth. He comes alive for 18 points in the fourth quarter. That was to pull them within 2 with just 2 minutes to go. Next possession, Roy unconscious. Clear, a three-pointer, and the foul. Blazers tying things up. Roy again, he's a man, giving the Blazers the lead. They're going wild. Mavs would get a chance to wipe all these memories away at the buzzer off a Roy miss Jason Terry. No, oh man, a chance to win it. They blow it. Mavs lose 84-82. So today, a win against Missouri would give them a chance to break that drought. Tiger fans on hand, and Baylor fans too. No Lions. Oh my. Bears already down 5-1 in the 6th. Josh Ludy trying to rally his guys, but Connor Mack, big time catch. Gets a high five and decides you get a ball and you get a ball. Everybody gets a ball. Yeah, all right, top of the 7th. Same score. Cal Tui, unimpressed by that catch. He decides to one-up it. He makes the catch and makes the throw. Catches the base runner looking somewhere else. Baylor gets out of the inning, but fans can't watch the rest, and I don't blame them. Baylor unable to generate any offense, gives up 4 more runs eventually in the 9th. They drop it by a final score 10-1 to Missouri. Against Oklahoma State, it was a pitching duel early on. Danny Leal in the 4th inning in scoring position, looking to give the Bears the first score of the game. She'd round third, heading for home. Umpire, out. Almost punches her in the face. Take it easy. All right, thanks for staying up with us on the wrap-up. And now, Jemai, we have the pleasure about talking about one of the most confusing playoff districts around. Later on in the third quarter, Moody still trying to make something happen, anything. Justin McNeely takes off with a keeper and just a nasty hit. A local Central Texas native making history in the big leagues today. And better yet, it's for a local team. Good evening, Texas. Welcome to sports. I'm Jeff McAdam. Nights like tonight sure are exciting, but there's always a downside too. By the end of tonight, one team and their fans will have to say goodbye to its seniors. For Baylor, that could be Melissa Jones.
It seemed like just yesterday I was going through my first workout with the team and wanting to cry and go home. And now being a senior and just knowing that any game could be our last is just is crazy to fathom.
It's been a great 4 years. Over time, she's turned into a fan and coach's favorite. And you only have as far back as the Oklahoma game when they all thought they might lose her for good to find that reminder.
I just remember going for it and knowing that I hit my head pretty hard. Everything just started to fade black, and I thought maybe it just gotten really hard, and I was just trying to open my eye, and I physically still couldn't see out of it, and I was like, well, it's not swollen shut, and that's when that moment I was like, something's wrong.
The optic nerve is also responsible for sending those same signals that help to see vision, to see shapes, to see light. That right now is not working.
Kids aren't supposed to have those kind of injuries in basketball. I've seen her take worse licks.
Jones had become temporarily blind in her right eye, and after returning to the court 2 games later, she had changed her look in the visual sense, opted for protective lenses. She could have changed her style of play too, but that just wouldn't be Melissa.
It doesn't phase me in a way, and so just continue to play as hard as I can.
That's how she plays the game. When she's back on the floor playing, she'll dive on the floor again.
Her coach was right, and on the biggest stage of the season Sunday, she reminded her fans and her teammates that she never holds back.
She sacrifices her body.
It's been a feel-good story. Now everyone wants to know just how will it end.
Only one team can legitimately be happy with their season, so that's the picture-perfect world. And is that our goal? Absolutely. And we're not going to settle for anything less.
All right, we'll obviously have more on that season, and hopefully Baylor can extend it. We'll have that for you later on tonight at 10. Thanks for watching.
I am not feeling good. Hey, Jeff, come on in, take over for me, please.
You don't look well. Get out of here. Get out. I'll take over. Yeah, speaking of not feeling well, the basketball players inside the Baylor locker room, they've gone mad in this month of March, and they got the symptoms to prove it.
Like the flu. It's not fun.
It's a rage, I guess. You know, you get the shaking, you get nervous, you get the jitters.
It starts at the toes and goes to the hair. It makes you go crazy. It makes you look like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
March Madness, it's so contagious, it's even got team doctors looking for it in the most obscure places.
Sometimes we find it in the bottle. We really have to get rid of that March Madness.
Oscar Griffin, he got it in his water bottle. Oscar Griffin, there he is. Camera on him.
And no one's immune to the madness, not even play-by-play announcers.
Into the paint, Epee Jones up and in with the jump shot. You got to be careful that the madness doesn't overtake you. You got to make sure you don't say Lace Darius Carter, and you got to make sure you don't say Epee Jones. You got to keep the names right.
But is there a cure? For the answer to that question, we are now joined by the team doctor for both the New Orleans Saints and the Hornets, Doc Misty Surrey. Doc, can you tell us, is there a cure for this disease?
Frankly, Jeff, the situation is not good. Despite all the advances in modern medicine, there is no cure.
That's not what I want to hear, Doc. It's bad
Guys,
news.
Georgetown Lawson made me mad!
Jeff, isn't that your sports director?
Right you are, Doc, and how embarrassing.